Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Trials of Mana. I'm the Mysterious GG. So off screen, I couldn't help myself. I went and just redid. I didn't bother to recollect little treasures we missed. I maybe grabbed a couple of gold as we found it. But I redid the just meeting with Kevin and Duran to make sure that happened. And Reese, I always want to call her Lisa. Reese upstairs, now we're ready to meet with Hawkeye. Okay, and we don't meet Carly here. So between them, with us not meeting ourselves, obviously, that's it. I also went up to the guy who beats us up if you fight him and chose not to fight him, and I talked to Lugar, just in case any of that affects anything in the short term. Eventually we'll be loading the game, and I think I did the same thing off screen before saving. So let's chat with you. The beastmen are too frightened to fight. It's better to hide. Hawkeye.
Hey, it might not be my place to meddle, but you should stay inside when beastmen are around. Leave once it's dark instead. They pay less attention to little things like guard duty at night. I'm free until then, if you're looking for some company.
And I do not know if that's how he talks to you if you don't choose a female as your lead. I do not recall.
Don't worry, I was joking. See? Because
he is portrayed as being this, like, ladies' man rogue, but we also know from his backstory that the love of his life is back in Sand Kingdom Relant, and he's desperately trying to find a way to save her. But that doesn't mean he can't mess around along the way.
Beastmen of Ferolia look like humans during the day.
Well, sort of.
They transform into animals. Don't leave the house after dark. You hear?
I mean, I don't want to sound racist, but they look like humans except that they're really, really big and hairy. I mean, they all look like A-Train.
Hey, if you're trying to leave the city, night is actually best. Once the beastmen transform, they lose their better judgment.
Like Hawkeye just said, but he didn't have a gold star over his head, so that wouldn't have triggered anything.
The whole lot of them tend to get together and brawl amongst themselves until dawn. It's easier to sneak out of the city then. Good luck.
If it's easier to sneak around at night, I'll just go to the inn and rest until then. I am not about to risk my complexion by staying up all night.
Staying up all night? I guess not getting enough sleep's bad for your complexion. That's true. You have anything new to say? No, I'm free until you're looking for company. Haha, I was just joking. See, haha.
I feel for some reason like I should be hanging out with Hawk. And that beastman Kevin. I don't know what it is.
Boom, swanton bomb.
Hey, leave me alone. Don't you leave me alone. I'm trying to jump out of this well. The wishing well. Something will tell about the servant in the wishing well.
So I didn't talk to all the NPCs. Pretty sure you don't need to. Oh, and as you can see here, she gets stuck over there behind the item screen a lot when you're playing with the pots. Looking for a place to rest? No charge. Can't do business with these basemen in town anyway. I would like a chance to save, because now I'm thinking about it, I don't have any non-auto saves for this. I could find myself off-screening to gain seeds on a different save slot and then realize everything I've done is gone. Hey, Wolfman, get ready to brawl amongst ourselves and ignore guard duty. They need to develop some kind of Guardian and Wolfman Jack technology. Escape Jad, don't tell me what to do, game. Didn't mean to do that.
Welcome.
Okay, well I can actually save now. So, looks like all the saves I have involve me having already assembled the whole party and being at like level 10. So if there's a save I don't care about, it's probably this very first one actually. Because I know that the hours are potentially a little bit deceptive there. In the hour, no, those are hours of time. Those are hours of day or playtime. Yeah. Pretty sure this is the same point in the plot as that one. So let's just Get this first slot established is where we'll save. Maybe when I get all 3 characters together, I will load. Maybe I won't. But, I think I'll get to the Golden Road. No, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But eventually, I'm in Chapter 2, and some of this involves just, like... there were points where I left the thing going while I went out to go for, like, a walk for an hour, and I don't know that I ever actually got into shutdown mode. But, yeah, like I said, it was getting insane. I had level 38 already because I was grinding for seeds and not getting seeds fast enough, and... we will be... This is not a hard game, and we will be over-leveled for a decent chunk of it. The difficulty would come suddenly at the end of the game, I believe. So, like, Chapter 1 will have about the normal difficulty, but then Chapters 2, 3, and 4 will be really easy. And finally, around Chapter 5, when we should be as powerful as we already are on this save file where I was actually grinding, we'll see what happens.
Come again.
So I got to get to a point in the story where we can actually do our second class change before I can really take advantage. So now we can just escape whenever, but I'm just a little curious as to what some of these NPCs are saying now. Has a chance to get out of here. He's telling me to get the F on with the story.
Duran, you want to come with?
Arg, what a headache. Pretty sure none of them are going to change what they have to say. So let's just go. We'll be meeting Duran fairly soon. And Charlotte, when she's your third party member, actually shows up earlier than most third party members would. Set shortcut commands for items or moves you use a lot to save time. Yeah, Charlotte has a slightly different joining point than any other character would in the third slot. You may remember a moment in Secret of Mana 2 Let's Play together, where Angela joined our original party as the third member by shaking her butt and distracting some guards. Yeah, when you get thrown in jail at that point in the story, your third party member will usually appear, but Carly/Charlotte actually joins earlier. Oh, howlers.
Level up, bitches.
Training characters. Talked about that a little bit off screen already, but basically I've got training points now. Sometimes you level up and you get 2, sometimes you only get 1. But I think for right now, none of this really matters because I don't have magic. I guess strength plus 5 is a good very first thing to get because it'll actually immediately increase our physical combat. The beginning of the game, and the whole game is fairly easy, but the beginning of this game is particularly has to be easy because you've got to be able to fight. Oh, I don't even think I ever came over here off screen. I might have missed this Stardust Herb. But the very beginning of the game has to be particularly easy because Charlotte and Angela particularly are not good for just regular old physical combat. But it has to be something where they can handle themselves until they get to the point in the game where they have another party member. So we'll go ahead and save here. Just so that if something tragic were to happen, we don't have to go back into the town, which we now cannot, by the way. You can't get back in the town now.
I don't need to go here.
So we're done there. There's not a whole lot of point to exploring. We might as well just get on with... Oh. Aerial attack. Essential against the assassin bee. We got an item seed. There's more enemies there that we don't really have a reason to fight. The game... We've got a gold star, but it's a ways down there. It's far enough that we don't really know precisely the best way to get there. Might want to just run away from this one for time efficiency. Another golden statue there. This is your first grind point in the game. Although, honestly, Rabbites have a chance of dropping item seeds. Otherwise, you really want to just move a little bit farther along in the story if you were interested in grinding. You want to at least have your party members with you before you start grinding. Again, grinding not essential. Part of me already regrets that I've grinded off screen because I'll just be overpowered for some of the game's plot challenges. But if you're going to do it, and the game is very friendly towards grinding as far as giving you lots of little incremental rewards, you're gonna want to get your party together first. Lakeside Town, Astoria. This is another one of those places. You'll have to forgive me. I'm going to want to talk to all the NPCs because we might not get a lot of chances to meet everyone.
It's Jose again.
This is the Lakeside Town of Astoria.
Jose is everywhere. He haunts me.
Phantasmal light will bring the destruction of the town.
Sounds pretty neat.
There's not a whole lot to do in this town, though, so don't worry. I mean, I can try to talk to all the NPCs, but it's still not going to take too long.
Lots of wares to browse. Come again.
I don't know that I've ever bought items in this game. I guess when we got to the all-night market later on in the story, in my off-screening, I probably bought a few things, but this game constantly, it gives you little items and treasure chests all the time. Generally not armor, generally not anything super... And I just realized we got something from an item seed, didn't we? A Frosty Ring. Cancels out freezing attacks. No reason not to have it equipped. Increases our stats. We've got nothing else for that slot. But yeah, weapons and like accessories, so far in my play, have only come from item seeds. And I've never gotten like equipment from chests. Chests are always just like chocolate or cup of wishes. But still, if you actually go out and find them, and I'm in the habit of looking for them just because I find it fun in this 3D environment, there's no random encounters. So I don't like feel like it's a waste of time to like, oh, I could have 100 random encounters just to get a stupid potion. Like, no, if I can plot a route to this potion and just grab it for myself without encountering enemies, I'm cool getting little minor treasures. Minor treasures, like pickaxes. Okay, I thought something cool would be over there. There's a candy over there. Again, yeah, I'm having fun with this. Like, I think even if I didn't already have... And maybe I guess there's a whole genre of these games that I just wasn't playing where, like, you actually go through these 3D environments and hop around like this. And this one has its own, like, style and charm. There might be other ones where you just get really bored really fast. But, yeah, I don't mind searching for little minor treasures at all in a world like this. At least not yet.
That dog doesn't like me. Why is Pont acting up? She's usually so calm. She must know that I'm now the baddest bitch in town.
Whatever. So there's a little NPC over here we talked to. Little NPC makes Stone Cold sick. Oh well, I warped through a fence into this building. That was interesting.
Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
And this actually is better than what we already have and would be worth grind. Oh, what the hell. Let's buy one. Off screen, I will already... I forgot she has that dog.
I love shopping.
Like I said, they really do... it's not the most complex character ever, but like the silly Valley Girl princess, they really do get that across pretty clearly throughout this game. Her little eep when she jumps is the only one. It really grates on me pretty quickly.
Did you hear? Chad's been taken over to the Beastmen. Are we next? Well, I mean, unless some other horrible fate befalls you. Can't imagine why that would happen.
And even the "wah" isn't so bad, but the "eep" gets on my nerves. I'm not sure why. Grabbing a few lucre here and there to help us with affording, because this town does, we can now see, have better gear. So we can't actually go in there, huh? But this seems like really monotonous to you. Eventually, this kind of exploration in towns will be a little bit more useful, because there is eventually going to be something called Little Cactus, which is this game's version of hidden packages, where finding them all and getting them all will actually have more substantial rewards. Like, we'll get like a rocket launcher and body armor to spawn at our safe house.
You know the gold and silver mana statues? Yes, offer a prayer to golden statue, restore your HP. They both restore your data. That's not really my thing. They say I didn't go to the chapel very often.
Oh, it's the fortune teller model again. In my day, we wore clothes for warmth, not as fashion statements.
Well, you know what? Your day's over, old bitch. Bye.
I mean, the lady kind of had that coming. I don't know that that dialogue was unique to Angela, or if that's just what she says to everyone. Okay, so she's saying anything about beastmen. I don't feel like I met you before now that... Okay, never mind. You're just the NPC that wanders around at random. If I waste too much more time here, it's going to change to night or day, whichever one it isn't right now. And I might have a whole different set of NPCs I'm supposed to talk to then. Okay, cool. There's a magic rope in the outhouse. Somebody left a long rope-shaped turd. That's great. I should not be doing this. I know that none of this is really going to matter once I load, but this is what you do when you first enter a town in this game. And we did need to come into the armor shop because there's better armor to buy. Oh, that's right. There was a shopkeeper who was inexplicably asleep and never did figure out if there was a way to get him to wake up. Like, it doesn't matter what time of day you go to that shop. He's always asleep. And Angela doesn't, like, rob the guy or anything. She just, Well, and the other thing is, now it's telling us that we got to get out of this town. So possibly without even realizing it, I must have interacted with the thing that was in this town to be interacted with. Because the story now moves. I remember where you have to go to encounter the fairy, but I also remember in the original Let's Play Together, JG and Bobo, Secret of Mana 2, we went back and forth between the lake and that town a ton of times, because in that game they don't signpost what you're supposed to do to advance the story. Lumina time. Okay, just to show, not gonna redo this whole town in great, slow, boring detail. And there's only so many towns in the game. If I'm like taking every town we encounter, and if you're getting bored with me talking to all the NPCs in the towns, there's not that many towns. Don't worry about it. We don't have the fun in this game of pushing NPCs along, so that was a running gag as Kevin or Hawk pushing NPCs away. Like, Kevin be like, don't talk to my friend, he's my friend. But this guy, he's still asleep. I guess that's all I needed to say. I already even said it. I was just like, you didn't believe me, huh?
Oh wow, the back of that sign also says Lakeside Town, Astoria.
I guess I might as well plant the item seeds, even though I didn't actually mean to come in here. A bumpkin. So Kevin, basically. Hey, Daddy, that's not fair. I'm not even going to be part of this up here. If I recall from off-screening my way through all this, Kevin briefly appears in Carly's flashback, and that's it. Don't think we're seeing him again. Him being scared of being noticed by the other beastmen in Fortress City of Jad. That should be it for him. Hawk, I remember showing up again. For reasons that will become apparent. And, I think Rize always shows up no matter who you play as. Because there's a chunk of the plot where we have to deal with her people, the Amazons. And, that'll be it for the characters who are not already in our, who are not going to be in our party. Jad is kind of the big, like, meeting point in the story where you get to see brief glimpses of these people you didn't choose to play as. Huh? But there's a lot of little... So the maps are similar sometimes to the maps from the old game, but the dungeon maps I don't think are quite as faithful as the town maps are. They give you little corners of the world to go explore and check out.
No one believes me, but I saw it. A strange light was floating over the lake. Maybe it'll appear tonight, too.
That'll be pretty sweet. Pretty awesome if that happens.
So we have to go talk to him, and now we gotta go to yet another place. Anyway, I remember there's more little places to explore here that we might have missed. Sometimes it looks like you can get to a place, but you either can't, or you can always tell by the map. So up to this point, I haven't seen anything where they... I haven't seen anything where they make it look, where they make it look on the map to the upper right that you can't go there, but you actually can. I haven't seen any like that yet. But if you're ignoring the map, which I tend to do, and just looking at the screen, you will sometimes miss places where you could go and get treasure. But anyways, that was actually a pretty high-level fight if you haven't fought anybody on your way there. As evidenced by the fact that we didn't do that great. Seems, yeah, see there's treasure chest sitting over there. And it's a lot more active a combat than in the SNES version where you can... Oh. I know there's a way to get at that treasure chest. Oh, never mind. It's just walking up to it from this direction instead of that direction. Okay. But there's, never mind. I lost whatever it was I was going to say. Couldn't have been. I don't think it was like world-changing stuff that I was going to say, but I've lost it. Oh yeah, in the SNES/Super Nintendo version, you can actually, this is something I found out along the way, you can actually press and hold the attack button and your characters will auto-battle. You don't really need to, I mean, if you want to use techniques and stuff, you kind of have to do a little bit more. But if all you want to do is just use regular attacks, that's all you got to do is press and hold the attack button. Because it's got more turn-based RPG elements in it. Okay, so now the game wants me to go to this cave. And when I went here before, I could have gone here before and you just get bounced back. And I don't think there's any dialogue. I think she just gets bounced back and you just can't go that way. Yeah, you get this. There's an invisible force blocking the way.
Someone's put up a barrier. I never learned how to dispel this. I need to find someone who can break the spell.
You never learned how to dispel this. I thought you never learned any magic. Anyway, never mind. That's what happens. I guess you just get bounced back and you don't have the little... I need to learn how to dispel this. Or I need to learn how to dispel the spell. Or whatever she said at the end. You just don't get that if you haven't got to that point in the story yet. So, Cascade Cavern, Holy City, Wendell. We've got to go back to the town. See? Now it makes sense. We're going back to the town to see if there's someone who can dispel the barrier for us. And also if we can learn how to grow seeds. Those are both equally important things. Etc. So there's 2 different places on the map we have to visit. I have a feeling we'll have a couple of people tell us they can't dispel the spell. Oh no, curses, I managed to get away from Jab, but now I'm stuck here because of the barrier. No, I'll never get home to Wendell. Take down the barrier? Hey buddy, if you figure it out, let me know. Gonna spend the night here, I guess. Finding a way home is a problem for future me. You could stay the night here too. Maybe the barrier will magically disappear overnight. You never know.
Well, I mean, he could be right, I suppose. Even he is a lowly man who doesn't know magic. Even though men know magic in my country, so I'm not even sure what I'm getting at there.
You used to be able to go through the Cascade Cavern to the east to get to the other side of the lake. Unfortunately, Wendell's closed it off to keep their city safe. Head to the end. So she doesn't tell you anything. I'm not sure what I think is going to be accomplished by getting up here. I'm queen of the world! But, I did it anyway. So if we go to the inn, we'll probably get the chance to save the game, which we kind of need to do anyway, because it's pretty much time to call it a video. But, I mean, just between those bits of dialogue, and this is how the original game worked. You would need to talk to that person, those 2 people, both of them, and once you talk to those people, you would be given the chance to advance time and actually accomplish something. But until you talked to them and knew why you needed to advance time and open the barrier, nothing would happen with any of those things. You can go check it out if you feel like it. Me and Bobo just kind of... I'm sure we made it fascinating and fun anyway, but we spent quite a bit of time going back and forth between... Probably the problem is we went back and forth between the cave and the lake point where that guy talks about seeing lights in the sky, and maybe not interacting with that, like not triggering that barrier, because I knew we couldn't get through that way, so I didn't bother to go trigger it.
Thanks for recording my progress, Jose. It makes me feel better about the way we left things off.
Because every old man looks exactly the same as Jose, and now that would be true in the original game. Jose, to whom she says no way, looks like every other old man sprite, but it seems less forgivable somehow in this remake. But when I say less forgivable, what I mean is I actually love it, because it's faithful to something that they could have easily fixed, and they're like, no, we're just going to have fun with the fact that all these old men are exactly the same. We'll make the mage sprites look different. I guess the old men have different color shirts on, but they pretty much look the same. Come on. Anyway, guys, when we come back next time... Angela has traveled away from her home kingdom / queendom to get away from her mother, and is trying to get to the holy city of Wendell. But first she ends up in the castle city of Jad, which is taken over by beastmen. She figures out how to sneak by, but now a barrier that's been erected to prevent the beastmen from invading Wendell is also preventing her from making progress. So she decides to sleep on it, based on some other guy in the same predicament saying, well, I'm going to sleep on it and see what happens. So she's going to sleep on it and see what happens. And I would have no reason to think any of this is going to lead anywhere, except that gold stars on the map have indicated we should be doing this. So when we come back next time, we will advance until the evening, and then we'll see what happens. Bye-bye.